We recently had a Ripple employee fully validate the overall strategy. Hear me out. I have been discussing this for months on end, stating that this is precisely what would occur. And we recently received confirmation from a Ripple employee about that strategy, confirming that that is the action that Ripple is taking at the moment. Everyone, welcome to Peepo Coin Channel. I hope that if you're new to Peepo Coin Channel, you will subscribe by the end of this video. Let's begin by pointing out that Ripple recently shared this on their X account. International companies require quick and inexpensive means to transfer funds. Real-time cross-border payments supported by institutional-grade compliance, transparency, and trust are now possible, thanks to the integration of RLUSD into Ripple payments. Now, RLUSD is not the only issue here. We have reliable coins for cross-border, quicker, and less expensive payments, correct? If we examine this, we find that technology is having an exponentially rising impact and has already revolutionized a wide range of industries, including industry, agriculture, medicine, and commerce. However, because legacy infrastructure makes international money transfers needlessly complicated, cross-border payment systems are still stuck in the past. International payments ought to be easy, quick, and reasonably priced. With real-time settlement, reduced costs, and fewer fees, stablecoins provide an alternative to conventional payment rails, don't they? Improved accessibility and openness. These days they also examine the steady coin market, with the whole stablecoin market cap exceeding $210 billion earlier this year in 2022 alone. These benefits have contributed to the stablecoin adoption boom among financial institutions and companies. Fiat-backed stable currencies handled nearly $7 trillion in transactions, more than both PayPal and MasterCard combined. They now make reference to stablecoin payments. Once more, we are already familiar with stablecoin payments. Guys don't need to run down, in my opinion. You people are intelligent enough. Here, however, we truly like the advantages of stablecoin payments: quicker, more intelligent, more affordable, more dependable, improved security, and increased accessibility. The actual operation of the money flows is shown here. You already understand how they operate. I don't believe you people require a summary of this. Here are certain qualities to look for in a stablecoin payment system, though. At this point, we begin to see several things that are especially related to the level at which Ripple operates. Therefore, not all stablecoins are made equal, nor are the systems that support them. Selecting the appropriate supplier is crucial for companies and financial institutions wishing to include stablecoin payments. Interoperability, transparency, and compliance should be given top priority in a trustworthy stablecoin payment ecosystem. Ripple is doing precisely this, and while I don't want to admit it, it seems like there are quiet shots being taken here, like at Tether, for instance. Working with partners who follow stringent financial rules and maintain transparent reserve backing is essential as new frameworks for stablecoin regulation emerge. Businesses may send and receive payments across numerous markets with ease thanks to the top platform's worldwide payout capabilities. 90% of the foreign exchange market is already accessible to Ripple. What more extensive coverage and worldwide payout capabilities are you looking for than Ripple? Naturally, we also have stablecoins for using Ripple to make cross-border payments. They now draw attention to the fact that RLUSD is issued under a charter issued by a New York limited-purpose trust company, one of the largest charter licenses available. For example, it's really encouraging that Ripple has this license under its belt. This absolutely distinguishes Ripple from other stablecoin issuers, which is why I have recently and will continue to draw attention to it. A renowned accounting and consulting firm, BPM, conducts a monthly audit of RLUSD, which is fully supported by US dollar deposits, government bonds, and other cash equivalents. The more than 90 payout markets, the $70 billion in transaction volume that Ripple Payments has previously handled, and how RLUSD has already taken advantage of them are also discussed. Instant settlement for cross-border payments, integration with DeFi protocols, and liquidity access for remittances and treasury operations are all provided by RLUSD, which was created especially for enterprise and institutional use. RLUSD is designed for high-value financial transactions with an emphasis on compliance, security, and transparency, in contrast to stablecoins that were primarily created for retail customers. RLUSD, which is already accessible on international exchanges such as Revolut, LMAX, and Zero Hash, is facilitating stablecoin payments for companies all around the world. Ripple's global payout network, which accounts for over 90% of the daily FX markets, is being used by clients like BKK Forex and iSend to expedite international payment flows. We are aware that we recently received confirmation of a job offer, aren't we? They are going to investigate other stable currency on the network according to a job posting on Ripple's website. Because this video was broadcast by Rowan Exchange back in February of this year, this is where we begin to speculate on the RL Euro, RL Yen, and you can name all the other fiat currencies out there as well. This was Ripple's most recent promotional video about the Internet of Value. They highlight nearly all of the fiat currencies available in this video. They do of course also have XRP and Bitcoin on this site, but we do see some important reserve currencies, or to be more precise, fiat currencies such as the US dollar, which is a reserve currency. However, if we take a look at this, you can see that every single major fiat currency is included in a single film, including the euro, pound, and yen. If Ripple was not planning to launch more stablecoin efforts to support all of these other stable coins, such as the ARL pound, the RL euro, or the RL yen, why are all of these fiat currencies included here in this new promotional movie about the Internet of Value? I do believe that will happen soon. When we consider that, we go back to November, when Société Générale Forge declared that the stablecoin would be introduced on the XRP ledger in 2025. We haven't heard much about this lately. Indeed, many individuals said, well, guess what? Since they also made the same announcement with Stellar, they switched from XRP to Stellar. However, we only recently received confirmation due to a recent incident. Crypto Airy deserves a huge thank you for this. Casey Craddock, Maryland of Ripple in Paris, US, Europe. As the starting point for a retail end-to-end solution, this footage was made to verify that the euro stablecoin on the XRP ledger had bank-grade custody. Anticipate a fierce fight for wallet custody. Pay close attention to this video clip. Hello everyone, my name is Cassie Craddock and I work for Ripple as the Managing Director for the UK and Europe. It's been quite the journey for me, having worked at Ripple for 8 years. From persuading banks to collaborate on a network to send cross-border payments, to being able to offer banks and financial institutions end-to-end digital asset infrastructure through payments, custody, stablecoin, and tokenization use cases that we'll discuss today. As the person in charge of Europe, I believe that what has been particularly intriguing from a Ripple perspective is what we've witnessed in the recent micro has provided banks and other financial institutions this degree of assurance to be able to rely on the blockchain and digital asset area for the past year, 18 months, or almost 2 years. On the basis of that, we've seen some quite creative use cases. We therefore collaborated with Société Générale Forge, one of the top banks in France, initially on custody, but now more generally on the XRP ledger's Euro CV stablecoin issuance. We are collaborating with our customers on a number of other use cases, such as market funds, and bringing those on board. And as more institutions begin to show interest in this area, we're actually witnessing that trend continuing to rise. With our cross-border payment product, we're resolving a sort of liquidity trap, and financial institutions can better serve their clients by allowing them to make payments instantly and in real time through a network of partners that makes it possible to transfer money from point A to point B. XRP might be used, stablecoins could be used, or actual cash. And throughout the years, we've had widespread adoption of that use case, which I think is pretty intriguing. In general, I believe that resolving that issue with the cross-border payment product was the first step from our point of view. Our path to owning that type of end-to-end